Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi WordPress theme tutorial. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we're going to continue our little theme of Divi basics here, and we're going to show you how to use the hover effect. Now this effect can be used on most modules, and if I just hover my mouse over this little blurb module here, you'll see you can get some pretty crazy stuff going on. That's just a hover effect happening right there. And like I say, you can do this with most modules in Divi. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know I love the Divi theme. I've literally built hundreds of sites with it. It keeps getting better and better and easier to use with more and more features. If you want to take it for a test drive, you can do so from my affiliate link below this video. So let's get started on creating a module with some hover effects. So I'm on the front end here. I'm going to enable Divi's visual builder, which lets us build everything on the front end and see things happen as we're doing it. Once the visual builder is loaded, let's go down to where we want to work. I created a section here with a blue background. The little blue tab is for the section, and a row with 3 columns in the row. There's the first one, we've got a blurb module, second one, and third one we've got nothing. To add a new module, I just need to left click on the little dark button there with the white X in it, white cross in it, and it'll prompt us to add a new module. And Divi by default comes with all these modules. I'm going to simply add a blurb module like we've got next door. And there we are. By default, it loads in a bit of dummy text and what have you for you. I'm not going to change the text. Obviously, you do what you want to do with your text. Okay, so I'm using a blurb module right here, and as you can see, it's added some text, a title, and an image. I'm going to use an icon rather than an image. So let's just roll down a little bit more. Everything else I'm going to leave the same, image and icon. I'm going to say use icon, and I'll select any old icon. There we are, and that looks okay. You can't really see it too well behind there. Let's give our module now a white background color like we've got on that one. So if we go down a little bit more, add background color, you can do a color, a gradient, an image, or a video if you choose to. I'm just going to add a color and simple white background color. There we go. Alright, next thing I want to do is perhaps give my icon a default color as well. Let's go over there, image and icon, icon color. I'll do the same as this. I'm going to make it white so it'll disappear, and then I'll check this little box that says circle icon. There we are, circle icon, and circle color. Let's make the circle color blue, which is the same color as our background here we've been using. Now let's go down to the text and let's just centralize that text and perhaps give the title a different color. So text, here's the text, and this is general. This is for all the text in the module. Let's just put it all in the middle right there. Fantastic. Don't want any text shadow on this today. Title text, which is the title, funnily enough. I'm going to make that blue, and I'm going to make it uppercase. And let's make it a bit bigger. We'll make our text size a little bit bigger. Something like that. That's fine. Okay, and as you can see, everything seems to be kind of squashed, you know, to the size of this. So we need to add a bit of spacing. So if we go down to our spacing tab right here, open it up, I'm going to put 25 pixels padding on all sides here. So it'll have a gap between the side and where whatever is inside starts of 25 pixels. You can just put the 25 in, it'll put the pixels for you. If you check the little chain after it, it'll do the opposite side. So you've got top or bottom, and you've got left and right. And let's put that in correct way around. There we go. And as you can see, we've got a bit of space there. Now I notice my icon, this one's slightly bigger, doesn't matter. If we go back to our icon, Go down a little bit more and use icon font size. You can just pull it up or down in size using this little slider here, or type in a value in the box on the right. So we'll use something like that. Now I'm going to give it a border, but I'm going to give it a white border so you won't see it at first. If we go down to our border here, you've got a little chain in the middle. When that's checked, you can do all sides at once when it's highlighted, or individually when it's unhighlighted like this. I want mine all the same, so I'll leave it checked. And I'm going to say I don't want any rounded corners on this, so I'm probably not going to use that. Border styles, square, you can do top, right, bottom or left individually. I want the whole thing, and I'm going to give it a couple of pixels. I'm going to make it white, so once I do this, it's kind of going to disappear into the blurb background there. Fine. And last but not least, let's give it a bit of box shadow. There we go. Okay, so we've got our basic blurb built here, which is just fine. Good looking little blurb, absolutely fine. But we want something interesting to happen when we hover over it. So let's start working on that. Okay, well, let's say the first thing that perhaps I want to happen when we hover over, let's change this background from white to this blue color we've been using here. So if we go to our content, down to our background again, and now this next step is the same for every setting in a module. If you just hover over whatever it is, the black, not the blue, but the black writing of whatever setting you're editing. When I'm not hovered, you don't see anything beside it. When I'm hovered, you see that little arrow right there. Now this is what we want to set the hover state. Click on it, it brings up two buttons, a default, which we're seeing right here. This is basically when nothing's hovering over it, and a hover, which means when something's hovering over this module, we want it to do something. So for the hover state, I'm going to choose a new color, and I'm going to say make it the blue when we hover over it. Now of course our title has disappeared. That's absolutely fine. So what we need to do, let's go to our design tab, text title, and again if we go down to the text color, hover over the dark writing that says text color, and that little arrow will appear. There it is. Click on it, two buttons, default, hover. So on the hover state, I want my title text to turn white, and also I want my regular text to turn white as well. So let's go down to the body text or regular text, and again next to color, got that little arrow. Hit that arrow, default, hover. Like I say, it's the same for every control in your module. So we're on hover, and I want that to turn white. Now you can have it different colors. You don't have to turn it white or left. You can, anything that's got an arrow by it when you hover over it is something that you can actually change. You can make the text bigger or smaller when you hover, letter spacing, line height. Can't do it with text shadow, and you can't do it with alignment, but if you really want to, you could do that with CSS. It's not a problem. Okay, so let's just save that. I'm going to check this box, save changes, go down to the little purple button and hit save changes, save. Once we get the check mark, I'm going to exit the Visual Builder. Now the Visual Builder's exit, let's hover over it, and it should just change. All those colors should change. As you see, when we hover over, our background's changing, and we could have changed our icon to a different color and a different background color, however you want to do it. Now, if you notice with this one, we've got some sort of placement and flip effects going. We can do that to our other one here quite easily. I'll just show you those, and we're pretty much done, but I'm sure you get the idea. It's the same for all of those modules. So let's enable our Visual Builder again and just add some sort of dynamic animated effects here. Now we got our builder loaded again. Let's go back down. Click on the little edit cog for our module here. Let's go to our design tab again. This time let's go down to transform. Now you've got a bunch of tabs on the top. First one's scale, then translate, then rotate, then skew, and transform origin. And again, with each of these you've got that little arrow. So let's click on the little arrow and check on the hover state. We'll start with the first one, transform scale. That makes it bigger or smaller. Let's just move this across. Let's make it a little bit bigger. This is only when we hover on it. That's fine. And also let's transform translate it, which means it moves a little bit. Let's move it, say, this way a little bit. And rotate, we can flip it side to side like this, or tilt it, I guess. We can flip it on its back like this or like this. Just play with it. It's like it's flipping over. Put it where you want it, and then we can turn it on its vertical axis there a little bit, maybe like that. Okay, so it's sort of turned. Let's go to the next one. Let's skew it a little bit. We can kind of skew it so it's almost flat again. Let's have a look here. A little bit like that. Get that bottom end sort of flat. It's up to you how you do it. And that's way too much. Let's put it back how it was. Just skew it a little bit like that. And if you need to, you can go to your transform origin and just move it exactly where you want it to sort of move to. So we'll have it move over here, why not? Don't want to move it too far from the origin because your mouse will come off it and it'll stop being in the hover state. So let's save that. Exit our visual builder, hit the purple button, save our changes. When we've got that check mark, let's exit our visual builder. Let's go down to where we were and hover over it. And as you can see, it's got a pretty dramatic effect there. You may not want something quite as dramatic as that. You may want something more. But I hope that's showed you how easy it is to use hover effects with the Divi theme. Like I say, I hope you've enjoyed that and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're interested in web development, take a look down below. We've got some great free web development courses down there. We've also got some premium courses with some huge discounts for our YouTube subscribers, so do check it out. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and WebDesignAndTechTips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.